Requirements of the certified true copy of the original copy of the test, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, deliberation.
Hello? Can we open it? We sincerely apologize for the brief delay due to an internet connection issue. The technical problem, Mr. Vice Chair, has already been resolved and we can now proceed or continue with the pre-bid conference. Thank you for your patience and understanding. Thank you.
Requirements of the bid, preliminary examination, Act or NJPA, of the bid, each representative of the bidder, criteria and procedure for deliberation recommending award for the rejection of the bid. Criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification, deliberation recommending award, and award. Bidding will be conducted through open competitive bidding procedures using non-discretional pass or fail criterion as specified in the IRR or Republic Act 12009, otherwise known as New Government Procurement Act or NJPA. The lowest calculated and responsive bid shall be used as the criteria for contract award. After determining the bidders that submitted their bids for the contract at hand, the bids and awards committee or BAC, with the assistance of the BAC Technical Working Group, shall check if each bidder that submitted their bids is eligible to bid for the contract being procured. Pursuant to ITB Clause 26, the procuring entity will undertake the detailed evaluation and comparison of the bids which have passed the opening and preliminary examination of bids to determine the lowest calculated bid. The same shall be applied to detailed checking evaluation of the technical proposal, after which the bidder rated as LCB will undergo post-qualification with the assistance of the BAC Technical Working Group or BAC TWG. Once post-qualified, the bidder will determine as the lowest calculated and responsive bid and subsequently be awarded for the contract. Strict application of BAC TWG during the post-qualification process will be undertaken as per DEO 127 series of 2018, such as but not limited to verification and validation of the bidder's stated competence and experience, including the declared LCCC. Checking the performance of bidder in its ongoing government and private contracts. All bidders found to have conflicting interests shall be disqualified to participate in the procurement at hand, without prejudice to the imposition of the appropriate administrative, civil, and criminal sanctions. DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office reserves the right to reject any and all bids, declare a failure of bidding, or not award the contract at any time prior to contract award in accordance with Section 70 of RA 12009 without thereby incurring any liability to the affecting bidder or bidders. Requirements of the bidding documents. Documents to be submitted by the bidder. The following documents
We are now done with agenda number 1 and its subsections, including agenda number 2, other matters for the discussion of the three-strike policy. Do we have any other matters to be discussed?
Mr. Vice Chair, I have some matters to discuss. Mr. Vice Chair, pursuant to Department Order Number 164, Series of 2025, DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office shall use the following major categories of works and similar major categories of works in determining the work experience of the bidder for a particular contract. For the first project, 26LA0024, construction of public water supply system, level 2, Barangay Aguinaldo, Laak, Davao de Oro. Major category, WSL2, and similar major category is WSL2 and 3, WSL3, and FCP. For 26LA0028, construction of public water supply system, level 2, Barangay Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. For major categories of work to be of the contract to be procured, WSL2, and for the similar major categories of work are WSL2 and 3, WSL3, and FCP. For 26LA0029, construction of public water supply system, level 2, Barangay Kidawa, Davao de Oro, Laak, Davao de Oro. For major categories of work, WSL2, and for the similar major categories of work are WSL2 and 3, WSL3, and FCP. Lastly, for 26LA0049, construction of multi-purpose building, covered court, and stage, Purok 3, Barangay Antiquera, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro, with coordinates 126.003410 degrees earth eastings and 7.576210 degrees north. For major category of work is BICWO PLC, and for the similar major categories of work are BIC WPHCCP, BIC WPHCCP16, BIC WPLCCP, BIC WPHCDP, BIC WPHCDP16, BICWPLCDP, BICWOPHC, BICWOPHC16, BICWPMCDP, BICWPMCCP, and BICWOPMC. Also, Mr. Vice Chair, additional reminders. First, for the clarifications, all prospective bidders shall submit a clear copy of all documentary requirements. For correction, Mr. Vice Chair, the bidder must submit 2 original copies and 1 certified copy of its technical and financial documents using the 2-envelope system. So first, the technical component of the bid shall be sealed in 1 envelope containing the following. First is the original copy of the technical document sealed in 1 envelope marked as Original Copy 1 of Technical Component. Second, original copy of the technical document sealed again in 1 envelope marked as Original Copy 2 of Technical Component. And for the third copy, certified true copy of the technical document sealed in 1 envelope marked as Copy 1 of Technical Component. For the financial component of the bid, which shall also be sealed in 1 envelope containing the following. First, original copy of the financial document sealed in 1 envelope marked as Original Copy 1 of Financial Component. Second, original copy of the financial document sealed again in 1 envelope marked as Original Copy of Financial Component. And for the third copy, certified true copy of the financial document sealed in 1 envelope marked as Copy 1 of Financial Component. The technical component and financial component of the bid must be sealed in 1 outer envelope. Failure to comply shall be ground for disqualification. Next slide, please. As per Memorandum of Secretary Vivencio B. Dizon, dated February 24, 2026, with the subject clarification of the implementation of beneficial ownership information disclosure requirements under Memorandum dated November 19, 2025. Mr. Vice Chair, we would like to clarify that as per the said memorandum, only the latest GIS or the General Information Sheet reflecting the beneficial ownership duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission or the SEC for corporations, partnerships, private sector organizations, foundation, and association will be submitted. The sworn affidavit of eligibility and beneficial ownership following the template marked as Annex A shall no longer be required. So bidders shall also ensure that the submitted computation of the net financial contracting capacity, or NFCC, must be true, correct, and consistent with the bidder's audited financial statement. The NFCC shall take into account all ongoing government and private contracts, including those recently awarded but not yet started. All bidders are required to fully and accurately declare all ongoing government and private contracts, including recently awarded but not yet started, in the prescribed statement of all ongoing contracts format attached in the bidding documents. Failure to declare any ongoing or recently awarded or submission of an incorrect or misleading NFCC computation shall constitute grounds for disqualification of the bidder. The Department of Public Works and Highways, Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, reserves the right to verify and validate all information provided by the bidder. So during the transitory period of RA 9184 to RA 12009, existing guidelines issued under RA 9184, specifically Section 34.3B2 of the 2016 Revised Implementing Rules and Regulations of the Republic Act 9184, and Department Order Number 127 Series of 2018 with the subject strict application of RA 9184 in the conduct of post-qualification of bidders with delayed ongoing contracts with the DPWH shall be adopted. Checking the performance of the bidder in its ongoing government and private contract will be strictly implemented. If the BAC determines that the bidder has any of the following deficiencies due to the bidder's fault or negligence, the procuring entity shall disqualify the contractor from the award without any right to reimbursement of fees and incidental costs paid in connection with the procurement of the infrastructure contract subject of the bid, to wit, first, a reported negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract, or a reported negative slippage of at least 10% in 2 or more contracts, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on ongoing contracts within 7 days and to complete them within 30 days after receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and deficiencies, or failure of the contractor to commence repair works on contracts with pending certificate of acceptance within 30 days and to complete the works within 90 days after the receipt of the procuring entity's notice of defects and failures, or substandard quality of work as per contract plans and specifications, or unsatisfactory performance of the contractor's obligations as per contract terms and conditions at the time of inspection, and lastly, liquidated damages currently imposed on the contractor. Again, the Department of Public Works and Highways, Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, reserves the right to verify and validate all information provided by the bidders. Submission of bids through a representative shall be allowed, provided that the representative must present an authorization letter, notarized special power of attorney for sole proprietorship, board, partnership, joint venture resolution with secretary's certificate for corporation, partnership, joint venture, cooperative as a proof of authorization. The same authorization and letter of intent must be sent to bacconval11@gmail.com. Additionally, the representative must present a valid company ID or any government-issued ID. For the important DPWH issuances, all bidders must be aware and familiar with the following DPWH issuances. Bidders are reminded to strictly adhere to the instruction to bidders of the bid documents. Furthermore, bidders are also encouraged to be familiar with the DPWH issuances to avoid disqualification of their bids. First is the DPWH Memorandum dated November 19, 2025 with the subject submission of general submission of updated general information sheet reflecting beneficial ownership information for encoding in the Civil Works application. It says there that contractors are likewise reminded to submit an updated GIS annually or every time changes or amendments are made and filed with the SEC to ensure their information remains valid and consistent with official records. Second, DPWH Memorandum dated September 16, 2025 with the subject Interim Guidelines upon lifting of suspension on procurement activities for locally funded civil works project. Under Section 8, for the net financial contracting capacity, all prospective bidders shall be duly reviewed in accordance with the provisions of the RA numbers 9184 and 12009 and with their respective IRRs. The computation shall be based on financial data submitted to the Bureau of Internal Revenue or BIR through the Electronic Filing and Payment System or EFPS and supported by the latest audited financial statement duly stamped received by the BIR. Bidders who fail to meet the foregoing financial eligibility requirements, including their alternative, shall be disqualified. Also under Section 9, disclosure of relationships or disclosure of relations and beneficial ownership pursuant to Section 81.1 and Section 82 of the IRR of Republic Act 12009, all prospective bidders shall clearly identify the natural persons who ultimately own, control, or benefit from the bidding entity, whether directly or indirectly through shareholding, voting rights, contractual arrangements, or other means of control. Implementing officers shall be responsible for verifying and validating the accuracy and completeness of disclosure to detect and prevent conflicts of interest, prohibited relationships, or attempts to circumvent procurement rules. This is intended to safeguard the integrity of the procurement process against fraud, collusion, and undue influence. For the Department Order Number 241, Series of 2024, bidder must also be familiar with the guidelines on the processing, approval, and reporting system of Construction Safety and Health Program for DPWH infrastructure projects. And lastly, for Department Order Number 28, Series of 2024 with the subject 3-strike policy of infrastructure, goods, and consulting services contracts. Under this policy, if a bidder commits 3 offenses or acts described as all other acts that tend to defeat the purpose of competitive bidding, they shall be subjected to an administrative penalty. Prospective bidders are encouraged to read and to be familiar with Department Order Number 28, Series of 2024 to avoid committing offenses that trigger the 3-strike policy. Pursuant to the Memorandum of Attorney Rio T. Espiritu, OIC, Undersecretary for Support Services with the subject, Guidelines on the Issuance of Certificate of the Availability of Allotment or CAA, all implementing offices are instructed to undertake procurement activities of all FISARO items in the FY 2026 budget at the earliest time, short of award, pending issuance of SARO by the DBM. That's all, Mr. Vice Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Hopia. We will now proceed with the agenda number 3, which is the question comments from the interested bidders and replies of the back. Is there any questions or comments from the interested bidders?
None, Mr. Vice Chair.
How about from our online viewers?
None also, Mr. Vice Chair.
Hearing none, we will now proceed to the last agenda, which is a summary of proceedings, including supplemental bid bulletins to be issued, which will be discussed by Engineer Maria Shelby Hupia, Head of the Procurement Unit.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair. All the needed information were discussed and well explained by the back secretariat and the representatives from the planning and design section. I would like to remind the interested bidders to visit from time to time the PhilJobs and DPWH websites, especially 7 days before the opening of bids for possible issuance of supplemental bid bulletins. Also, Mr. Vice Chair, the deadline of the submission of the bids will be on or before June 9, 2026. The opening will be conducted immediately after the deadline of the submission of the bid, which will be conducted in the second floor, Conference Room, DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Humabon Street, Purok 18, Poblacion, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. Bids shall be addressed to the back chairperson, Ingenierico R. Rubin, DPWH Davao de Oro 1st District Engineering Office, Humabon Street, Purok 18, Poblacion, Nabunturan, Davao de Oro. That's all, Mr. Vice Chair.
All of the business in the agenda were already taken into consideration. May I know the pleasure of the body?
Mr. Vice Chair, I move for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference for civil works.
Second the motion.
It has been moved by Engineer Renz Joseph Casilak and seconded by Engineer Perla P. Mamigo. With no objection, this pre-bid conference for civil works is now adjourned.